All right, welcome back to the $1 million challenge, where I'm starting with $1, working my way up to $1 million gambling. Today's a big day. If you're new here, basically what I'm doing is I have a bankroll here, and I start with $1, try to get 1% profit on the bankroll every single day with a 4% stop loss, and we're just trying to get to $1 million. Simple as that. What I'm doing today is the bracket challenge. We're sticking with the bracket challenge. I had a bunch of people in the Discord community send in their best strategies, and I'm putting them head to head in a bracket. So let me pull that up real quick. So this is what we're doing. We're just putting these 16 strategies all against each other in a 1v1 style bracket, and we're gonna figure out who has the best strategy. But before we hop into some gameplay, I want to go over a few things. This video might be a little bit longer just because I want to talk about a couple things before we get started. There's some timestamps down below if you do want to skip ahead to the actual strategies that we're gonna be running today. But if you're new here, if you've been here since the beginning, if you've been here since the last episode, whatever, we have hit $1,000, and I've started with $1. I track every single bet I do on here. It's all on video. It's all on the channel. You can go the whole way back to the beginning and watch the entire journey up until now, and obviously in the future. But we start with $1, as you can see, and I tracked everything: our wins, losses, everything that's green is a win, everything that's red is a loss. So track this the whole way down. We just used the website. I can't mention the name, but we just started off with that website. And then around day 70, I implemented some sports bet or casino apps, and some of them have sports betting. I started off with some casino apps, and we started claiming bonuses because the original challenge was to add $1 every single day from the website, and then we started adding some sign-up bonuses just to boost the balance up. It's all free money. I'm not using any of my own money in this challenge. It's all bonus money, gambling money, investing money. It's all, I started with nothing. This is none of my own money. So like I said, we started off with some casino apps on day 70. Basically what I'm doing right now is just a little recap of how we got to $1,000 for anyone that's new here. That's why I'm going over this. Once we opened up these casino apps, we got a couple sign-up bonuses, and we kept playing on the website. Every single day, that's what I record on, is the website. And then I showed pretty much every bonus that I got the whole way through. We had a lot of ups and downs, but pretty consistent throughout the whole challenge. And then I think around here, I pulled some money out and put it into a savings account around this area, just to cash out some profit. So we had $530 in USDC, just to lock in profits. We had a crazy loss streak during this time, pretty rough. If you watched that, it was pretty demoralizing. We stuck through it, and we're still pushing. Okay, so around day 152 is when I started doing sports betting. I started implementing sports betting around this time. Basically, that's just like $1 to $2 a bet. I don't do anything super big. It's all very small bets. I use someone else's plays. I don't do sports betting that much. So I follow somebody else that actually does research, and I just copy and tail their bets. So they do all the work, and I just copy their bets. And it's been working pretty good. That helps grow the balance. Like I said, do like a $1 to $2 bet. Recently, I've been doing a lot of $2 bets just because the balance is growing. But at this point, I was doing like $1 bets just to get a feel for it. And we worked up, and I ended up at this point, day 168, which is pretty recently. I moved some of the cash amount into Bitcoin. I moved $300 over into Bitcoin. So right now we have like $300 in Bitcoin. We have $230 in USDC. And then we're doing sports betting. We're doing gambling on the website we use. And then we get like monthly bonuses, any like wagering bonuses on the casino apps, sign up bonuses. I already did all those pretty much, but there's deposit bonuses, like deposit matches and everything. So that's pretty much what we did up until this point, and we finally hit $1,000. I just kind of wanted to talk you through on how we got here. Everything's recorded. It's all on the channel. The only thing that I haven't been doing recently is anything below $1. I don't know when I started that exactly. Probably around the $700 balance mark. I stopped showing any bonuses that I get that are less than $1 because I feel like it's not significant at that point. If it's like 50 cents, if it's 10 cents, if it's 80 cents, it's not really that much of an addition to the balance. So now that we're at $1,000 in the bankroll, I think the plan is going to be to show any bonuses claimed that are over $2. I think anything under $2 at this point at $1,000 isn't that significant. Any dollar that's added is less than 1% of the bankroll. Still kind of adds to the bankroll, but it's not anything like huge. So going forward, I think today I have a couple $1 bonuses that I'll show. But going forward, we're just gonna be showing anything that's over $2 just to keep things. So I'm not just showing a bunch of like very small numbers and wasting a lot of your like content time. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Last thing I want to show you before we hop into the strategies for today is our graph. So this is our graph. I'm tracking our balance. This is the same stuff I was just showing you up top there, but this is just in a graph form pretty much. So I want to say, I might just be making this up and just speaking that nonsense. I want to say this is where we started signing up for the casino apps and started getting bonuses from the casino apps. That's why we were using the website, and it was pretty steady, getting that 1% profit every single day. Then I implemented the casino apps, started getting a bunch of extra bonuses, so it started going a lot faster. We had a pretty big like couple slot bonuses that paid out pretty good. I don't know, deposit matches, a lot of stuff like that helps boost the bankroll, monthlies, stuff like that. So you'll see these big ups and downs here, but overall you can see it's a pretty straight trend line going up. And this is where we're sitting at this video right now. I mentioned this before, but I play backwards, so I keep track of the balance every single day. So really, in like real time as I'm recording this, I'm right here. This is the bankroll, not including the website balance. It begins with S. I can't say the name on YouTube, but that website balance is pretty much this big jump right here. So this is really should be moved up to this level. I just don't include the website balance there, but this is where we're sitting at. So we're above $1,000, pretty high balance. It's a pretty good graph too. I like it a lot. But just to show you real quick, I know I'm kind of rambling, but we'll get into things very shortly here. If we go back up here, these are all white out. I hide all these when I record. So if I turn these black, you can see these are all the balances from all the web or the apps and everything. But the website balance, I only add that once I record. So that's why that dip in that chart, it's the last time I'll do this and we'll start. That's why this dip's so strong right there, because I don't have the website balance included in the sum. So hopefully that makes sense. So if I go over here, this is where that graph's pulling from. You can see these numbers are a lot lower. That's because it's not including the website balance. So these are all like 900, but they should be like 1,000, including that 168. That fluctuates a lot. If I get a loss, it drops like 40 bucks at this point. But for purposes of recording, making things look smooth, I'm gonna hide all of this right now. Okay, so we're sitting at $1,022 in the balance, and our 1% profit pool was $10.22. Our stop loss is $40. So for the first part of the bracket today, we got two strategies. They're going head to head. It's a little 1v1 part 2 to see who moves on to the second round of the bracket. So last episode, we had the crash strategy win, and today we got an auto snake strategy and a roulette strategy, originals roulette. So to start off, we're gonna be doing, I don't know if it's Sony or Sunny. I'm gonna butcher everyone's username probably. I'm gonna go with Sony just because we have a Sunny down here. So I'm gonna call him Sony. I don't know if that's his name or not, but Sony has an auto snake strategy, and this should be interesting. All right, so Sony's strategy is a little high risk snake strategy, but he claims he won a lot on this. I never played snake. I played it a couple times just to try it with like a 0 bet, but I'm about to be in for a ride today because I never played this before. But either way, he's saying to use 1 cent per $20. USD, which I'm using $40 as our stop loss today as the bankroll. And then it's an auto strategy, low risk for 5 rolls. And then on a win, we reset. On a loss, it's 120% increase. So let's hop in the website and test the strategy out. Okay, so we're hopping into the website. We got snake. Again, I don't really know how this works. I know like you roll the dice and it has to land on these numbers. I guess we're gonna roll this 5 times. I haven't really played this before. I trust you guys though. We're gonna rip it. It's an auto bet strategy. Like I said, he said 1 cent per $20. We got $40 as a stop loss today. So we're gonna start with a 2 cent base bet. We're on easy difficulty. He said it's low risk, but I assume that's easy. 5 rolls, and then on win we're gonna reset. Loss is 120% increase, and then our profit pool is $10.22. It's 1% of the bankroll. So I guess we'll just start this. This will be episode 2 of the bracket challenge to see who's on to the second round. We're looking for a win today. That's all I'm hoping for, but let's see how the strategy does. So I assume this will be a very slow strategy because this is gonna roll 5 times for each bet. So I might turn this on to instant bet. Might be a little bit quicker. Turn off animations maybe. And yeah, we'll let this run. So only doing 2 cent bets. I assume this will increase pretty fast after some losses. So we'll see where it goes. Looks like it's moving pretty good so far. Yeah, this challenge is pretty cool. I think it's kind of cool that we're doing a challenge, the bracket challenge within the $1 million challenge. Like we're doing a challenge inception, which is pretty sick. But yeah, I don't know if that was fun to do with you guys. I'm loving it so far. Very deep bet here, and we just busted. Oh man. Well, I guess we'll just run it back. We'll try it again. So he said 1 cent for every $20. I guess I should probably do that then. I should probably do 1 cent. Because that's sticking to the strategy. I wonder how many losses we got there. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. But yeah, that does dip pretty quick. So it's 1, 2, maybe? 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 5 losses. We'll try it again, but at this point we need to come back a ton. So we got to work this up. Basically, we got to get like $30 profit from where we're at right now. We'll see if it's possible. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll try to run it on the $20 bankroll. But I don't know. I don't have much faith after that crash right there. That was a pretty big dip. He did say it is a little high risk, so I will give him that. It definitely is a little high risk. But that's a nice little win. Jumped up the chart a good bit there. I'm assuming you want to like land on a couple 2x's and get a pretty big multiplier after a couple losses. That's kind of how this works, I assume. Like I said, I don't really play this much. There's a few games I don't play. I think Snake, it doesn't seem like it's the best for this challenge. This is coming back though, I will say. Looks like it's starting to come back. Maybe we just got really unlucky. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really play Snake. I don't play the new bars, I think it's called. I think it's called bars. I don't play darts. I think those are like too high risk. Plinko. I usually don't play those games because they're very high risk for my play style for the challenge. So, I'm not super familiar with this game. Sounded like a good idea, so we'll see. Maybe we just got unlucky. But we're gonna let this run. Maybe I'll speed up the video or just cut back to when this either busts or profits. I think the plan will be if we can get this back to $40 up here, I think I'll turn it back up to 2 cent base bet. We're starting to get a lot of losses now. Uh-oh. This might bust again. Whoa. What? That's crazy. That was down $25 total. I don't even know what that bet was. I didn't pay attention to that. Can I see? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. So we were at a $10.32 bet. I think that was our last bet. And we hit a 12.48x to get $129. That's crazy. Very high risk, but I guess it definitely has the potential to pay out pretty good. That's nuts. Well, for the bracket challenge, that's really good for Sony because that's a very high profit. So let me log this in the bracket and I'll be right back. All right, so day 174 was a win. We got $93.36 in profit. That's crazy. I did not expect that strategy to pop off like that. That was wild. Very high risk for sure. Very high payout though. That was sick. That's a huge boost to the balance. Like I said, I don't test these strategies because I don't play off camera at all. That was nuts. That was sick. Best case scenario, I assume. I don't know how good or bad that strategy can go. I guess you can bust pretty easily, but that was wild. It was a wild ride. Now we're sitting at 11. I guess we're sitting at $1,134 in the bankroll with day 175. For the strategy, or for the strategy bracket though, I'm gonna keep the same $40 bankroll to keep things completely even for each day, just to keep track of everything a little bit smoother. So we're gonna still stick with $40, even though the stop loss that we can use is $45. But before we hop into that, let's hop over back into the bracket, and I'll explain this at the end of the video if these strategies tie. But I logged in. If you watch the last episode, you'll understand what these numbers are in relation to, like what these mean. But basically that doesn't really matter as long as the next strategy for Eyes for You, if that one loses, Sony automatically moves on. If they both win, if Eyes for You wins, then we will use that little chart down here that I just showed you to do a tiebreaker. So let's see how it goes. It's an OG roulette strategy. Let's pull it up and get into it. Okay, so Eyes for You suggested, he actually put in like 5 or 6 strategies, but I chose this one because it had the most engagement. So, and someone else said they did this before and it's a really good strategy. So that's why I picked this one out of his like 6 strategies. But either way, we're gonna do OG roulette, the originals, and we're gonna do 6 numbers. I'm gonna copy his exact setup here in the website. We're gonna do that same exact setup. We're gonna pick 6 numbers, and then the bet size, we're gonna do the safest one here. He says this is for safety, medium risk, high risk, increase on loss 27%, and then we're gonna reset on win. And I think that's pretty much it. Pretty simple, very simple. So let's set this up and run the strategy. He said that we should be doing 0.0001 for safety. I'm not sure if that's like per chip or the whole bet. I'm not sure what if that's like percent. I was a little bit confused on that. But I did it per chip. So we'll see how this goes. I'll run it and then maybe we'll increase it. I think it's gonna take a very long time because it's such a small, it's not even a penny we're betting here. I'm trying to get $10. So we'll see how it goes though. It might be pretty high risk. I'm gonna reset the live stats. I don't think it's gonna be high risk, but we'll see. I guess it is kind of high risk. You're only betting on 6 numbers. Well, we're gonna stick it with here, see how it goes. So I got 100K of the chips, which is like a tenth of a percent, or sorry, a tenth of a penny on each of these numbers. So I'm just gonna run it. We're gonna see how it goes. And I assume we're gonna get a ton of losses, so maybe it's good that we're starting off pretty low. But every time we do win, it is maybe I'll turn animations off. I don't want this to run too fast. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll just let it run. I'll turn on instant bet. We'll make it go quick because it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna let it bust anyways. All these strategies I'm gonna run until they completely bust. I think that's the only fair way to do it. As we saw in the last one, I lost half the bankroll for the day, and it came back and got $93. So I'm gonna run them until they crash. It's gonna be the plan for this whole challenge. Looks like we're starting to go on a pretty good loss streak here. Can we get a win soon? There we go. Okay, nice. So this actually is probably the bet size he was talking about. I feel like makes sense for our balance. We're doing, because this starts to increase pretty fast. So I think that's good. We're slowly making profit too. We're up to $1. I think this is what he was talking about. Doing 100K on each number. Because it's starting to move pretty good. I feel like it's not too risky, but we're dropping down. I think our lowest so far was about 44 cents. I'm cool with that. I think this is a pretty safe bet size. I don't know if the whole strategy's safe, but I like what we can do with this. Starting to go on a pretty big dip. There we go. Nice win there. Almost up to $2, which is good. This has to get up to $10.22. Pretty high, but I think it can happen. Especially after a loss streak like that and we get a win. You can see the graph jumps up really good. Now, I'm trying to think too. He has to win today, but I think no matter what, the other strategy would move on. Uh-oh, we're starting to go down pretty good. Oh no. It's gonna bust. Yeah, it busted. Dang, man. I had so much faith in this. We don't have much to work with, unfortunately. Let's bring us back down to our base bet. I'll try to just keep running it until it completely crashes. Obviously, we just had a crazy win. So I'm cool with burning this here. Those are his numbers. Okay, same thing. We'll start off with that and we'll just run it back and see if it can come back. It's a very high comeback to come back from that. But I think it's only fair to run it the whole way through until it busts. Either way, I think if this strategy would have won at this rate, I think it's pretty slim chances. But if it would have won, I think the other strategy would have smoked it based on the tiebreaker stats on how that works, because that profit of like $90 is pretty much unbeatable. So 2 pretty high risk strategies today. I didn't even expect that. It's kind of good they're both up against each other. I feel like that's pretty fair that both these strategies were together. I just completely like randomly put all the strategies against each other. I didn't actually think about like how safe or risky they were. So luckily, I think this actually kind of worked out in favor of both of the both these strategies. I think they're pretty fair. They're pretty even to each other. Both pretty high risk. So I'm actually happy that worked out really well. We didn't do like a super safe strategy against a very risky one. So yeah, I think that worked out. Again, I feel like this is gonna bust. I'm gonna let this run though. We'll see if it can come back. We would need an astronomical comeback to come the whole way back from this $34 loss. I don't think it's gonna happen, but at the very least, we'll get some wager money. I'll wager some money for my account. I mean, this is kind of coming back a little bit, honestly. We're up like $2. But yeah, I mean, to come back from that's pretty significant. And this trend line is very small, and we're starting to dip again. Okay, we came back from that. Yeah, I'll let this run. Maybe I'll hop back in whenever this is done or speed this up. But I will be back in a few moments. That may have been the craziest comeback in history if I say so myself. That was nuts. So we must have just got a very bad start. Obviously this can take a lot of losses because it's such a small bet size to start off with. It's not even a full penny. But yeah, so we got dusted in the beginning, and I was like down to like $6, and I said, let's just run it, let's just see what happens. And this thing came the whole way back. It literally came the whole way back. Now at this point, this big jump, it was down, I don't know if I can even get there because there's so many bets. Let's see if I can get it. I think it was down to like 30 something. I think it was down, my last bet was $6. I showed it, I don't know if it was visible to you guys. It was $6, and then I hit for a 6x and brought us the whole way back up to like negative 28 cents or whatever it was. So that was the savior right there. That's what saved it. Once we got back up to there, I figured we were gonna get this, because after coming back $34, we basically got, what is that? Like $44 profit from the $5 we had. So that's pretty crazy. We went from like $5 up to $50 in a balance right now. Pretty good strategy. I think we just had a really rough start, but either way it worked out really well at the end of the day. So I didn't think that was a comeback, I'll be honest. I thought that was just cooked. I just was like, I'll run the $5, but it ended up working out. So that's another win. Every strategy so far has won. I'm gonna log this in a sheet, and then we will wrap up the video with some stats. Okay, so coming into the bracket sheet, I entered all the stats and we're gonna compare these two. So strat 3 was the snake strategy, and then strat 4 was the roulette one we just did. So the first one, they both won. So we have to do a tiebreaker on to see who actually moves on. So we're gonna compare the final profit and loss, see which made the most money, how many bets were placed to see which one's quicker, and then we're gonna see what the lowest max dip was, which means which one like risked the most money, which one like dipped the lowest, right? So based on that, this is the determining factor. So for the final profit and loss, we want the highest profit, obviously, and that was the snake strategy that had a 233% gain on the strategy, on the bankroll size. So that was pretty nuts. That's pretty hard to beat there. So that's gonna take the win there. We're just looking for which one has at least 2 of the 3, and that's gonna move on. Obviously in this next one here, bets placed, we want the lowest amount of bets placed. That means it's a quicker strategy. You don't have to play it too long. And the snake one had 152, and then the roulette one had 2,354. So the snake one wins again. And then for just to do it, even though the snake one's gonna move on, which one had the lowest max dip? They both dipped pretty far. The snake one dipped 62% down of the bankroll that we used, and the roulette one dipped 85% of the bankroll in that beginning part there, then it came all the way back. Either way, both very good strategies. I think, like I said, the roulette one, we just got super unlucky on it. Let me pull that back up real quick. And you guys about to vault some money, but we'll leave it. Either way, I think we just got super unlucky in the beginning here. Obviously, if we would have just started, like say this dip didn't happen, this was like where we actually started with the bankroll. This has potential. This is a pretty serious strategy that has some serious potential. If we would have started at negative $34, say that was like the base bet, we would need negative 24. So like right here, we would have got our profit pool, just that little section right there, if it didn't crash in the beginning. So I mean, that's a pretty solid strat, I will say that. I think unfortunately I just got pretty unlucky, which ultimately makes eyes for you in the bracket pretty unlucky. So I mean, it's a good strategy. I do like it. I could see myself definitely using that in the future. However, for the challenge, sticking to how we track everything, keeping things fair for everyone, that means that Sony's gonna move on to the next round with his snake strategy. So yeah, good video overall though. I liked both those strategies a lot. I can see myself using so far all the strategies that we've done so far in the future. I'm gonna pop on over into the tracking sheet here. Just to wrap up the video, we have $272 in the website balance after today's gameplay. I thought we were definitely going to lose the second day, but we came back. Craziest comeback I've ever seen. That was a crazy strategy. I'm still like shocked by that. The first one was crazy too, with that $93 gain. So this video we started off with, let's do some math here. We had 122 gain on the whole video. Pretty crazy, pretty nuts. And then 103 of that was from gambling, so about 19 bucks was from the other accounts, the Bitcoin, the savings account, the other casino apps. Yeah, crazy video, up $122. Very good video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. This will be episode 2 of the bracket challenge, where we'll move on to the next strategies in the next video here. We got a dice strategy and another roulette strategy, so excited for it. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. The balance is crushing it. We're over 1100, almost triple where we should be based on the tracker. That's where we should be in this whole challenge. We're almost triple that, so things are getting pretty crazy. If you're not enjoying this so far, things are about to get crazy. This is the thing too. Before I wrap up, I know this is a little bit longer, but you can see now we're starting to go for $10 every day now. We're in the double digits. So we were going for a penny every single day in the beginning. We're going for 1 penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies. Now we're going for $10, $11. It's about to get wild. This is what I'm talking about. Compounding the balance will get crazy. $1,000 is a huge milestone. Things are about to get wild. If things can keep going this direction, just lock it. Just lock it. So if you're already here now in this challenge, I think you earned an early ticket on the plane to the $1 million, because I think you're about to see this balance start to skyrocket if things keep going the way they've been going. Just saying, we've already 1,000x the bankroll from $1 to $1,000. We've already 1,000x it, and then to get to $1 million, we have to 1,000x what we just did, pretty much. Again, from 1,000. So we did it once, just gotta do it again. So pretty wild stuff. I'm very excited. Very excited. Hope you guys are too. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all your support. And yeah, you guys are the best community. It's a wild thing. But yeah, thanks for watching. There's a link in the description to join the Discord. Join the Discord. I don't recommend you gamble. I never promote gambling. I don't suggest you try this. This is purely for entertainment purposes. I'm just documenting my journey on trying out a little experiment. That's all this is. But yeah, thank you again, and I will see you guys in the next bracket video on part 3 of this challenge. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.